Sudip Bandyopadhyay, 76% has been tendered. The deadline, I think, is 30th of September. 26% is left. Can I assume that you've not tendered? But the minute you tender, the number will change.
I wish, Nikunj, part of it also was true. But jokes apart, I think,
I'm serious.
we have seen the big demand.
I was serious.
Every...
No, I meant it when I asked you this question. Why are you taking it as a joke?
Well, Nikunj, both of us know it's a joke. So does our viewers. But coming back, Nikunj, I think, the big demand saw pretty much everything returned. So I think 1,000 rupee notes, of course, everything will come back, and it's just a matter of time. Initially, there was a bit of a panic, but now I think, people are accepting and dealing in 2,000 rupee notes. And, there is no chaos, there is no panic, there is no, rush. So I think things have moved very smoothly as far as this, mini demand of 2,000 rupee notes. So I don't think there's going to be any major impact or any major crisis, chaos, rush, anything like that.
Okay. What do you make of this news in L&T Finance that there is going to be change of guard? Dinanath Dubashi, after retirement, after his retirement, there is going to be a senior person from ICICI Bank would be joining L&T Finance. What do you make of this news?
Well, a couple of things. I think, the existing incumbent was expected to retire. And I think, the way L&T Finance has moved, I think they had a lot of challenges during the journey. And probably the change of guard is what the board was looking at some point of time. And I think this is probably an appropriate time for change of guard. And that's what they're doing. They are getting somebody from a bank with experience in a lot of the verticals where the L&T Finance is operating. So, of course, they are looking at fresh thinking and fresh blood to take the company to the next level. I think, when L&T Finance originally was floated, originally was started, there was a lot of excitement, a lot of expectations. Maybe some of those haven't yet been actualized, and the group will definitely look at some kind of bringing back excitement in the stock and in the count in the business.
Nothing incremental. You got SBI and BOB. You got Can Bank. All three are giving them some company. Now, Kunal, the difficult bit is what do you choose? Bajaj Finance is at 7,000. SBI has regained momentum. HDFC Bank is just about cut loose from its months of hibernation. And L&T Finance is raring to go. So it's like one of those phases in the market that what not to buy and what to buy.
Yeah, so the problem of plenty is what we categorize, and that's the problem which happens in every kind of a bull market or an up phase when there are too many options to trade for. So, one has to, so we go with the traditional model of going with large caps as the first, port of call whenever the markets are into an uptrend. And if you have some additional capital to try and take risk, that's where we try and go for mid caps. But then we stop there. We don't look at the penny stocks. We don't look at the low beta or the high beta stocks or the low price stocks in that category, even if the trade looks a lot more meatier, except if you are an intraday trader and want to probably garner some gains into that pocket. But on a delivery basis or more of a positional play, we tend to avoid that space. Out of the few names which you mentioned, I would still be very bullish on L&T Finance even at current level. So these kind of moves indicate a change of range, change of regime for stock prices where a base shifts up higher, fresh participation trickles in on the back of the kind of news flow which you've seen for L&T Finance. And I think that's going to be more of a sustainable uptrend. So even if the stock consolidates, say for the next 1 or 2 weeks after today's up move, the move or the next targets for L&T Finance could be at least 15 to 20 rupees higher from current levels.
Okay. Let's also get a buzz around what's happening across the dealing rooms as we are set to close, I think, at another fresh record high. Sharad, what's the buzz that you're picking up?
Well, yes, in focus, we're having latent view analytics, and what we're hearing from dealers is the buying is being seen from the domestic institutional investor point of view, and already key DIs already invested in the company have names such as ABSL Mutual Fund, Kotak Mutual Fund, as well as Edelweiss Mutual Fund. The stock itself, the volumes have gone up by almost 6 times its 20-day average and is up more than 18% since March lows. Now, of course, the AI theme is very important for the stock, as a lot of inquiries has actually sprung up, especially in the AI related field for the company. And what we are getting from the channel checks is the company is expecting a large AI order to materialize in the second half of FY24. Now, overall, if you see the data analytics industry, India has roughly $12 to $14 billion of revenue potential in this segment, and also the stock would be a beneficiary of data analytics, which is used in the artificial intelligence. However, in the short term, the management did speak to ET now also, and they had stated that the market sluggishness would overall continue in the first half of FY24. However, they said that there is a downside protection when it comes to the falling margins, and they expected to maintain that levels of roughly 21%. And on the expansion front, they would be expanding in the markets of the Europe as well as in certain Indian categories.
Okay, Sharad, that's the buzz coming in. And since we're talking about AI, let's also actually bring in the bite of Vijay Shekhar Sharma of Paytm. He's talking about how artificial intelligence is expected to revolutionize the digital setup going forward, as well as he says there is no funding winter for good startups. Listen in.
Phenomenal is a word. I think this nation should owe the success of digital payment to UPI and the technologies that NPCI is making. I cannot admire them more than saying that they are the truest champion of what as country, as nation, we are seeing digital payments. The contributions like UPI Lite, contribution like credit card on RuPay credit card on UPI, these are phenomenal game changers.
Several issues related to governance, related to regulatory issues have come out. What do you feel is at the core of these issues, seeing all of these startups, some of which are big unicorns?
Well, I won't generalize the issues to a startup ecosystem. I'll say that find a pattern, figure out what the pattern is. So let's not take, that we live in Delhi and Delhi has a label of bad city, but that's not true. I mean, so these are stereotypes that get built. Startups are greatly managed when they are managed disciplinary from the board, from the executives that are there. And these few cases are very unfaithful, very, very bad in terms of what has happened. But that's not a stroke of every company out there.
Paytm, Zomato, Policy Bazaar, all three are now, well, from where they were versus where they are, it's a lot of difference. Sudip, when this entire birth of fintech happened, Nykaa was the poster boy and Paytm was the whipping boy. In this year, I think Paytm has given the best returns and Nykaa has been flat. Why is that?
Well, I think it's got to do with, I think at some point of time, Paytm was definitely looking oversold. And some, research reports came out recommending and expecting a price increase. I think after suffering for a long time, Paytm started in the market, stock started picking up. Also, what's happening in the business side, Nikunj, is that I think they have very clearly realized that profitability and path to profitability are the key factors which the market is interested in hearing and understanding, and they are working towards it, definitely. I won't say that they are definitely out of the woods or they are definitely there, but they are definitely trying, and that I think is showing. As far as Nykaa is concerned, there is fundamentally nothing wrong in the business. And I would definitely even today pick up a Nykaa over a Paytm. Look, beauty and women's lifestyle and beauty related products are a rage world over. One of the most valuable companies in the world is Louis Vuitton, and the owner of Louis Vuitton is probably the richest person. Depending on which week you are taking. So beauty and fashion and online on top of it, along with offline, I think is the right combination. Yes, they have a long way to go. They have competition, but I think it's a great business provided they can execute it properly. We'll have to wait and watch, but fundamentally, I like Nykaa from a long-term investment point of view. I also like, you didn't mention delivery. I would say that delivery is another business which I like. It's a 1,000-year-old business. There is nothing great in logistics. They are just bringing technology, they are bringing right processes to the logistics business. And I'm pretty confident it will succeed, and it is going to, it's a game changer in the logistics business. Now, the question is valuation. At what valuation you are picking up these stocks, and do the valuations justify, the current state of affairs? That's the question. So one has to wait and watch. But Delivery and Nykaa are fundamentally strong businesses, well-established business models, whereas Paytm probably still to establish a viable long-term business model.
In the meantime, just Naresh, wanted your take on a couple of these big buzzers today. BSC, which is high by almost 11%. Of course, there was this news that they're considering buyback, etc. So that spurred the stock. But then you also have JSW Energy, which has been in quite a bit of an uptrend.
So I'll take up JSW Energy first, which is a stock which I track closely. The stock gave a triangle breakout about 270-75 levels, saw a spiky volume for 2 sessions, then did a drift off, fade off for the next 4-5 sessions, and now again making a fresh move. So the trend is positive, clear. A very strong base made around 200 levels. So 200 was the bottom back in June of last year, again the bottom in March of this year, and now is starting a new trend. So this could go towards the 330 mark eventually. So looks very promising. BSC is a recovery from the lows, and it's made a strong recovery from 400 to 650 plus. So out there, 700 is a major resistance. So 700, 730 would be tough to cross. Risk reward is offered at these prices. Would wait for a dip over the next few sessions to actually look at it as a buy. But JSW Energy looks interesting even from current levels.
Energy has been trending and pull up JBM Auto, and not just today's stock move on that one. Pull up maybe a 1 month, and then you will see that stock has been in a bull run of its own. That's JBM Auto for you, a stellar run coming in for that one at this point of time. But time to get some BTST ideas as well from our chartist. Kunal, what's the buy today, sell tomorrow idea?
So I'll go with Canara Bank as the first trade, suggesting a buy with a target of 330, stop loss at 308. And IDFC First Bank is also coming back into its breakout mode. So I think closer to 80-81 would suggest a buy with a target of 88, stop loss at 77.
Naresh, your BTSC recommendations?
So that would be a buy on Biocon. A pause day today could again come back tomorrow. Stop loss at 258, target at 275. Second would be a buy on Jindal Steel. Getting into that touching distance of 600 resistance could break out. Stop loss at 587, target price of 615.
Okay, on that note, gentlemen, we let you go. Sudip, Naresh, as well as Gunal, thank you so much for joining us today. But for now, we are ending the trading session with a gain of almost 150 points on the Nifty, very close to the highest point of the trading session. And look at the smart advance decline as well. There are 1,200 stocks advancing to 900 stocks declining. And even the broader market, especially the small cap index, that is what showed the maximum outperformance, 1.25% higher at that. Sensex comfortably above 65,000 and the Bank Nifty too holding up with solid gains. In terms of the sectoral moves, of course, it was energy which was in focus. That was pulled higher by the big coming in on Reliance as well. Over 2% gains coming in for Reliance today. The other heavyweights that were doing quite good was the HDFC Twins. So you have HDFC Limited as a bank which did quite well in the trading session, and other energy names like BPCL, IOCL, HPCL were some of the other names that we are watching out for. From the PSU banking pack, it was Canara Bank, SBI made a bit of a comeback, and then Bank of Maharashtra was also reacting to the quarterly updates. Talking about updates, autos was in focus on account of that. Tata Motors did well, can't say the same about Hero. So that's the kind of reactions that we have seen on some of the counters.
Yeah, when it comes to the broader end of the market, some of the active movers which saw an OI build up, there was definitely Bata. Although the stock languished, closed in lower by about 3%. That was pretty active. Of course, but the OMC pack, HP, BP, IOC, they were all holding a buzz in trade and have seen a fair amount of OI addition as well. There was Bandhan Bank, which we highlighted, looked very strong, as was the case with a BOB, with a Can Bank, IFC. In fact, most of these stocks have seen a gain on a BOB of about 5%, Can Bank nearly 5.5%, and IDFC rocketed about 6.25% gains on the futures. Persistent Systems has seen an OI build-up of about almost 15.9% or so. That's also been an active stock today. On the losing side, there was Laurus Labs, Persistent, like I just highlighted. Bandhan as well was down 3%. Bata has been a loser as well, as has been Manappuram Finance too. But the big high flyer today from within the large caps, Reliance, ITC, Bajaj Finance and SBI. And from within the broader markets, L&T Finance all the way IDFC and Can Bank, which have closed in with flying colours. And a fresh closing high as well for the Nifty, well above the 19,300 mark as well. But we're going to wind it up right here on this edition of Closing Trades. We'll see you with all the market action tomorrow morning at 8 a.m.